Hey, boys and girls, weather report, July 15th, 2021. That's about all I got.
Okay, we'll see you, everybody.
I'm going to shoot her in the head.
Yeah, say goodnight.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Speed, what's in the description that we want to make sure people direct their attention to?
There is stuff in the description. And one of the first things, let me see, hang on a second, I'm sending.
That John reminds me, you forgot to do your cows yesterday. You haven't been doing your cows the past, right?
Oh, yeah, the cow. Yeah, the cow thing is kind of long, and I don't want to do it every day. So I just do it on special occasions.
Oh, but it's good that you want to see the cows and that you notice when it's not being done.
I only do that when I'm really hungry for a T-bone or a porterhouse.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair, right?
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. So let's see what we got here. Oh, there was a little an article which is in the link. Tennessee's vaccine manager. She's worried for her state after she was fired for doing some kind of a public campaign to get teenagers vaccinated. Because apparently in Tennessee, they have this law that teenagers are in control of mature minor doctrine law, where a doctor can make a decision for the teen, or just, if a teen goes to a doctor, they don't need parental consent. So there's some hullabaloo over that. And I noticed that Tennessee has about 8 times as many COVID cases as Minnesota right now. I wonder if the two things are correlated.
Who knows?
I don't know. So she got fired because she wanted to do some public service announcements to get people vaccinated. So she got fired because.
Well, couldn't they just tell her no?
Who's the echoing? Who's the echoing?
John.
It was me.
Of course, it's John.
Yeah, I brought the story to his attention, like fucking a scientific people, as Jake Tapper put it.
And I was saying it's more than ascientific. It's there's something about anything that has to do with like common sense, taking care of people, or what, like something for your health, or maybe like feeding poor people or anything like that. They seem to have a problem with. There's a certain class of things that they don't like, and it's really hard to decipher. But I suppose it had something to do with their asshole orange president getting basically shit on his face because of this whole COVID handling, right? So they're probably a little butthurt about that yet.
Well, in that same story, I believe it was, they were talking about Trump, and there's some book that came out, I think maybe somebody from the administration, where he had said that he considered mask wearing a personal affront.
Yeah.
Trump said that.
Yeah. It bothers them to see somebody. What is it like? Is it a manliness thing? Is that what the fuck they're going for? I don't get it. There's something really twisted up about the set of things that they choose to rebel against. And why in the fuck is a vaccine a political? Why is using a vaccine cut along party lines? I mean, why would that be? I don't get that. I don't get it.
I have no idea.
Did anybody see the comment that the Joint of Staff made about the whole thing? He made a comment about that he was nervous about Trump using them, doing like a military coup type thing, or using the military to stay in office right after the election. was complete and all that. He just made a comment about. I know he's made several comments, but he also wrote a book about it. I think. I don't know if it's published yet.
You talking about that general?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he just
I've
made a
seen
comment
certain-
today or yesterday. He made it. Yeah.
I've seen certain quotes that he
Yeah.
made. But, you know,
He talked about that Trump was going to use some sort of a whatever Hitler actually used the military when he changed over to a dictatorship. However, he did it.
the Reichstag fire or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Well, look, I mean, is there anybody here that doesn't think that if he thought he could have got away with it, if he thought that he would have done something like that? I mean, look at him now. I've never seen an ex-president do what he is doing now. He is basically still campaigning and going out there and telling all the same lies he was telling as president.
Well, he's campaigning for he's campaigning for 2020 yet, you know, and he lost. Oh my God, I don't know. If they run him again, I think I'm going to run.
I just realized I was muted. I mean, you know what? Let Trump have his delusions. He's an old man. You know, he'll die within a couple of years.
Yeah, but you don't understand, dude. If he keeps it rolling, and if the Republicans get any gains in 2022, he's going to run in 2024, and he has a legitimate shot to win because of all the fucktards that we.
I know.
Right. That's what's scary. Exactly. I agree with that, John.
Yeah.
It is scary.
It might just be because of my personal politics, but my favorite scenario for 2024 is that he almost wins.
Serb, know
What?
where you are, okay?
Yeah, I know where I am.
You're
No,
scaring everybody.
I'll back that up. It's because I get to go around to every leftist around me and go, look, and you said you didn't want to have guns.
So you could say, fuck you, right? Do you want to get rid of guns? Well, look what happened. You let the devil back in.
Yeah.
Well, I said almost win, right? I don't actually want him to win.
Well, what if he does win? You're gonna feel like a dick if he wins.
Well, I'll get to make the same argument, only better.
Fine.
I mean, who was it? Was it Grover Cleveland, or who was it back in the late 19th century? He had a 4-year term, and then 4 or 8 years later, he was elected again. I don't know if I can't remember if it was Coolidge or Grover Cleveland. I think it was Cleveland.
I know Teddy almost did it.
Yeah.
So what is up with these floods? One of the links in the description is Moonwobble, which I didn't read too much about, but Scott did. And then I just noticed about 20 minutes ago this thing about Germany having record-breaking flash floods, killing 20 people.
Well, the Moonwobble thing, that's not supposed to have an effect for
A couple of years.
30 or 50 years or something like that. But
No, they were
Doesn't
saying
look easy.
2023, I think, was when that would start. I'm sure it's going to be a prolonged event or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the two things are related, but do we need any more trouble?
well, no, I mean, the flooding right now is necessarily related to the wobble yet, but then what they're saying is that the moon wobble event that is coming up, you know, whenever it is in the future, it'll exacerbate the situation of global warming and rising seas, and you know, it'll just make the tides a lot bigger and forceful. And
I'm more and more happy with my location in Minnesota, right in the middle of everything. You know,
I got to
really
tell
happy.
you, the place where I'm at in northwestern Pennsylvania, you know, everybody's been talking here about how lucky we are, you know, after the heat waves in the Pacific Northwest and on the East Coast, and you know, like it's been relatively mild here.
Yeah. Well, what's weird to hear is that in northern Minnesota, where my sister lives, where I was this weekend, it's been running. It always runs 15 degrees colder, almost exactly. up there because of, I think it's a Lake Superior effect or something. But they've been running 10 degrees warmer than us all year. And I don't know why that would be. Like further north you go in Minnesota, the hotter it gets. Weird. I don't know. Some weird shit happening this year that I've never seen before.
Well, I'm going to guess that the Arctic air is going east more and less south.
Yeah. They're getting hit. Anyway, so let's see. There's that, and let's see. Moon wobble. Okay, Jesus and the Apostle Paul. So, do you have anything to say about that, Scott? Well, is Scott gone? He's
No, I
gone.
was just muted and I had my other screen open.
Oh.
Yeah, the I heard it on Myth Vision podcast. Derek interviewed a New Testament scholar named Mark Goodacre, and Goodacre is just a well-respected, very influential scholar in that topic, and it's just basically he was going over why he believed Jesus existed as opposed to some of the mythicist viewpoints, and so it was just really good discussion.
Why do they believe he existed?
You'll just have to watch it because I can't remember.
I mean, well,
I can't remember the points.
Well, and here's an interesting point about that discussion that I've heard many people have is there's this. I guess you would almost call it an equivocation that goes on, is because they say Jesus existed, but the fact of the matter is there's two discussions there. Did a man named Jesus Christ, Yahweh, exist? Okay, but the way I look at the discussion when you're having it is that if you are talking about Jesus's existence, then you are talking about the supernatural being of Jesus that performed miracles and supposedly is, one iteration of God, the Son of God, whatever you want to say. And so those two arguments get mixed up a lot of times, because obviously there was men around at that time that had that name, and maybe that some of them were preachers, but I think it's like two different discussions. Like when somebody who's religious says that Jesus existed, I think they are saying that you can infer that they mean the magical Jesus Christ.
No, for me, it's actually, did a historical figure. Was there one single prophet that got popular and got crucified? That's a really important thing to figure out. And if we could, and I sort of believe that really happened, but why did that particular person end up being the one that they created all the myth about? That sort of thing. And did that historical person really exist? And that would tell us something. That would tell us that he was like, Jerry Falwell or something back in the day. A lot of people knew his name or something like that for some reason.
Now,
whether he exists or not, I mean, one thing you have to say is it's the most successful marketing campaign in human history.
Yeah, exactly. It is. And so somebody on one of the creationist channels said that, he had the most impact on culture of any other person who has ever lived. And whether he lived, it would be amazing if he didn't really exist because he had such an impact on culture. I mean, he has really fucked us up for 2,000 years and continues to fuck us up. I mean, God, people are pissed off about Hitler. What about this guy? I mean, look what he's done.
Well, at any rate, apparently he's writing either some articles or writing a book
Jesus?
where he engages, I'm talking about Goodacre, where he engages with some of Richard Carrier's ideas. So that should be interesting. And usually when something like that happens, Richard Carrier will write about it on his blog, which is has some very interesting articles in it.
Okay.
Yeah, Richard Carrier is the opposite, right? He believes Jesus didn't exist, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
That's his view. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick to Pavel D in the live chat there. If you're around when Speed ends the stream, come on in and come backstage, man. I'd like to find out where you're at in Northwestern PA.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool to get together for coffee with people that you meet online.
Yeah.
Amazing experience. I met a couple, three dudes in England and Scotland that I had actually talked to for years and years. Went out and sat down and had coffee with them. It was a really cool thing.
Hello.
Hello.
Well, hello.
Hello.
I'm Cerberus.
Hi. Yeah, I'm Mike. Speed of sound, Mike.
Yep.
Anyway, I got a video up here that I linked in the chat, PCE3 seminar series on Prebiotic Chemistry channel. And I have, Scott just linked it to me, and I have not had a chance to review too much of it, but this Muller guy, apparently they're developing these ribozymes, and they've got a cycle where they can evolve them for more efficiency for making medicines, basically, is what they're up to. And somehow they have a loop where they actually evolve the medicine. So those who think evolution isn't important in medicine, I think it probably is, because there's a lot of this going on. And they have a number of speakers on this little video that I'll have to check out. And I do not know why it's doing that. Okay.
Well,
yeah.
is this the thing that has something to do with about the title of the stream?
No. That was from Maddox Box of Rocks and Sal Cordova. They were from, the one with the titties, the mammary gland thing, or Sal called it the woman's area instead of the woman's titties. That same stream, I've been going through more of it, and I found a couple little interesting tidbits. Something that confused me, and I thought maybe I'd play it, but I linked that one in the video too. So he was talking about tidbits, and you found some more tidbits. Yeah.
Yeah, and didn't he also say that that something about that originally the babies were licking the sweat off of the mom's area. That's what started the nipples to mutate or something.
Yep. They have a bunch of other interesting little things that they say too. They actually repeated that Kent Hovind thing where how did sex evolve? Like, first of all, you'd have to evolve the male, lizard, and then separately a female lizard would have to evolve in order for them to have sex. And Sal Cordova and Emery Moyna and Maddox were all sitting there kind of yucking it up like, oh, that's impossible. And like, that is the most naive idea about how sexual reproduction evolved that I've ever heard in my life. I've heard it before from Kent Hovind, but we know how he's special, right? I mean, he's helmet wearing special. But these guys.
Well, and I mean, originally, sex wasn't involved, right? It was reproduction was done by division,
cell splitting, and the evolution of sex is a long, slow journey.
Yeah, it would have to.
And it didn't evolve a male evolving and then a female separately evolving, and they just happened to find each other. That ain't how it fucking happened. Okay, it's just and oh my god, their ideas about how things evolve are just incredible. I could play a little bit of it. I got a few clips from it.
Right. Well, the thing that gets me is for somebody who supposedly has studied science, math, physics, or whatever, they don't bother to seem to get the opposing side. In other words, that nobody talks about it in those terms of a female evolving and then a male evolving and then them somehow getting together.
Right.
It's never talked about like that.
That's the key, Scott.
Why don't they know scientific theories about all that and then talk in terms of that? But no, they have to build the straw man cartoon
That's
version.
the key, Scott, that's the key right there, Scott, is they don't want to know. That's the key, right?
Yeah, they haven't even thought about it.
They don't. They have no interest. They think it's impossible. So they just make shit up to make themselves happy, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, what do you expect from a group of people that believe that some being grabbed a pile of dirt and made a dude, and then grabbed one of the dude's ribs and made a woman.
Like
Yeah.
even if evolution was that cartoony, why didn't they even consider like hermaphroditic species? Like, why wouldn't they think that would have happened first?
Yeah.
So it would have been hard for that first one though to impregnate itself. I mean,
Well, okay, and then they have the fish, where the urogenital opening is on the other side from the anus, and they're talking about how how did they switch over? Did they switch over like all at once? And I mean, if you know anything about embryology, you can see how. And I have not looked into this specifically, like how did that change and how did that evolve? But I mean, it doesn't just happen overnight. It isn't just like one mutant suddenly had the anus on the other side. It just doesn't work that way, but they think it does, and I don't know why they think that. Did we lose
They
sign?
portray it that way because they have all these uninformed people that they just want to, prejudice and bias against scientific theory.
Yeah. Let's play a little of this and see.
The arrangement of parts in that fish doesn't matter. We can just take them all and put them wherever we want.
Oh, hang on a second here. I got it running pretty fast. Oh.
Put the caudal fin right in front of the mouth. Think that's going to work? Or maybe put the swim bladder where the tail is right now? No, you can't just move parts around like that. Everything has to be organized and arranged in a particular way, or the organ.
Okay, the guy talking right now is working on on his master's degree in biology.
what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Dorkoff, Emery Moyna.
Organism either dies or it's not the same organism. And phylogenetics just completely ignores all that.
And not to mention if there is a sexual component,
Yes.
because then if you start putting a leg somewhere else, it's not going to be able to find mates. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Now, do you guys ever consider that?
Yeah.
I mean, I really want to be sensitive to people with birth defects.
Wow.
But someone that has a birth defect still is not necessarily attracted to someone else that has that same birth defect.
Mm-hmm.
And I really, because I know,
I take offense to that.
it's really tough to touch on that
Yep.
subject. But if we're talking the science of the evolvability,
I mean, let's take this back
Why
to
don't these people just Google and find out the actual theory?
Yeah,
Too much work.
but I mean, this is how they're thinking. No wonder they don't believe in evolution.
I'm going to start referring to Sal's channel as evidence of ignorance.
Okay, so he's working on his master's in biology. Is this one of those where, like, I haven't graduated high school yet, but I'm getting my master's?
No, I think he has a bachelor's from. I think it was from some Bible college, but then now he's at a real college, and I think he's working on his master's. But he said he doesn't like biochemistry and chemistry, so he doesn't know anything about that. But he knows about biology. So I don't know. He's becoming a botanist or something like I don't know.
I mean, these people are the same people that say evolution's wrong because a dog never had a cat.
Yeah, exactly. And this is Sal Cordova, who's he knows better, or he should know better, for God's sake. And Emery Moyna, who's the graduate guy, he should fucking know better. Maddox, we understand why, he's special. But anyway,
mutants. I mean, let's just take it back to the first organism that evolved sexual reproduction, right? If you want to go back that far, whatever organism that was, and again, this is another X organism, right? We don't know what this thing is. You can't just evolve one.
Yeah.
You've got to evolve two.
yeah. And on John Matt,
right there, he said it. Like, he thinks that a female and a male, just like Kent Hovind used to say, have to suddenly evolve sex organs and then find each other, and they had to both evolve at the same time. And it's like, oh my God, this is a graduate student.
Maddox's channel, we were trying to explain that to Andrew Cumming.
Yeah.
Because he was really the Evo Devo. I said, did you ever consider that? And now we might have. I don't know what happened. What did I do?
You hit a
I don't know
button.
what you did either, Sal.
You shared my screen.
Anyway, let's see. So there was another part that was interesting. Now this is about them talking about how creationists need to create their own videos, and it runs a little long, but I just thought it was curious, and I'm wondering what he's talking about.
You can talk on. I think I'd like to reshare that video because I want to tell you something that means a lot to me. I don't know if Matt's is here. I've given a talk on Topoisomerase, and I believe Matt's is a Christian, and he's trying to raise his family as Christians.
Children.
And, Matt said his daughter really liked that topoisomerase example. That means a lot to me. And then when I debated James Downer, people were saying, Sal, that sewing machine thing was really cool. And I'm like, glad. That means a lot to me. It's like creationists argue more like this. You're just going to annihilate the opposition because.
Well, you've heard me talk about this. I really think that we, as people on our side of the equation, and I know that Dr. Stadler and Dr. Carter are trying to work on this to an extent, but I mean, I really think we need to actively be contemplating creating our own animated content. So we have full rights and usage of it, of some of these fundamental, like, yes, there's always, like, the videos you shared, Sal, are awesome, right? But there's obviously ultimately limits on what can be done with them, right? And I think we need to look at some of these fundamental structures and processes in biological systems that our minds are collectively blown over them, right? Like, we know they're amazing. And we've gotten to see some of these awesome animations and such. But in terms of being able to leverage them.
Okay. So I guess he is talking about, being able to use copyrighted material, right? So they want to create their own mind-blowing. Yeah, everybody's mind is blown when they see the little walkers on the microtubules and all that bullshit, right? And anyway, this whole video is them talking about how their minds are blown and how scientists' minds are blown over the complexity of biology that we are just now discovering, according to them. Like, nobody ever realized that biology was complex before these guys came online. And there's one part in here where John says, I don't understand what the evils, they just don't understand. They don't know how complex this stuff is. It's like, what?
How many videos do they think they can make? Like, creationists only have two subjects. Not You're wrong, and Jesus did it.
Well, they want to create their own little cartoons of cells, doing things, right? Like Cell created. He's got one here.
And the implication there is from Maddox is, see, look at all this complexity. Therefore, God. That's exactly what he's talking about there. We need to make more videos and show how complex this is because that's evidence that there has to be a God.
Yeah. That's what. Okay, this is the video that Cell does. I don't think he got a copyright strike on it. But anyway, it's about a protein export system in prokaryotes, which threads basically a transmembrane protein in and out of the cell or the membrane. And that is a really common mechanism. It happens in all eukaryotic cells in a lot of different ways, but it's almost like a sewing machine where it causes the alpha helices to cross over the membrane over and over and over again. And it's done in something called the Golgi apparatus. But Cell apparently just discovered this in prokaryotes, and he has a video on it. So, but here's what this is the kind of videos they want to do. So,
and is used to describe the movement of a protein out of the cytoplasm. A gram-negative cell has a number of destinations for secreted proteins. Secretion systems move proteins into the inner membrane, the periplasm, the outer membrane, or outside the cell into the surrounding environment. Special export systems are required to move hydrophilic proteins through the hydrophobic membrane barriers. Let's examine how proteins are delivered to the inner membrane. As a ribosome translates a protein destined for the inner membrane, the first part of the protein to emerge from the ribosome tunnel is a very hydrophobic region called a signal sequence. A cytoplasmic structure called a signal recognition particle, or SRP, quickly binds to the signal sequence. SRP, which is a complex of RNA and protein, essentially paralyzes the ribosome. SRP delivers the stalled ribosome and its nascent protein to the cell membrane, where SRP binds to a membrane protein called FTSY. Although some proteins spontaneously insert into the membrane, most use a general secretion complex composed of 3 proteins, collectively called the SEC-YEG translocon, embedded in the cell membrane. In this process, SRP dissociates from the complex, prompting FTSY to deliver the signal sequence to the translocon. The newly made membrane protein may have many membrane-spanning regions. These hydrophobic regions, 20 to 25 amino acids in length, are important because they're compatible with the hydrophobicity of the membrane itself. The hydrophobic regions move laterally out of the complex and into the membrane. The looping may occur many times, considering that many transmembrane proteins.
Okay, that's the sewing process. Now, the interesting thing about that is that this is a much more primitive mechanism than we have in eukaryotes. And it goes all the way back to prokaryotes, which is a clue about how did this thing evolve. And I'm sure it goes way back even before that. But anyway, so I thought those things were interesting. What else? Not much else here. So, comments?
Well, I mean, that's what he's talking about, right? Like, we need to counter these kind of videos by having our own animations.
Right, and if they had their own videos, then they could continue. They could throw all kinds of, oh my God, God must have done this, God must have done it, God must have done it in there. So anyway, well, if they're going to get videos, I think we should work on some of our own, and
Well, I know Vast Rhino, Dapper Dino, and many others spend a lot of time critiquing Christian videos that have graphics and animations and all that. So I don't. Maybe he hasn't seen them, or maybe he's just basically wanting to control them to the point where atheists can't critique them.
Yeah, I don't know. Or he wants to be able to distribute them without copyright problems, which I guess is fair. I mean that's always a point. Make your own stuff, but too bad Peter's not around. Is Peter around? Unsub. No reason to support fascist echo chambers where no one with a different opinion can. Come on, Smokey. We don't have you blocked. I don't think.
No, he got his message deleted, and I think he got timed out for calling you a name or something.
Oh, today?
Yeah, just a couple minutes ago.
Okay.
He got the upset because he can't be rude. That's basically what's going on right now.
Yeah, well, we told Smokey, okay, Smokey, you can't be rude when you come on our channel and you have a conversation with us. And, you're fine as long as well, I've been asked not to have you in the room by a number of people, but including myself. But if you do, if we do have a one-on-one, if you do any of your usual, and I love your radio voice and I love how you can conjure up all these insults. I really think it's a talent. But I'm just not gonna be a party to it. So fascist echo, and SFT, Maddox, all those guys, I want them to come over, and I would like to delve into one particular paper or one particular little piece of their narrative, and I welcome them. Sal Cordova too. Sal Cordova is scared to death of me because he knows that I will take him into the detail, and that's one place Sal is afraid to go. So he's shaking in his boots over there, pretending he's got some kind of a problem with me when he really doesn't have enough evidence to support this problem he has with me, right?
Listen, you called Peter and he answered the call.
Oh, goddamn, I forgot to send Peter a link.
I really like that he thinks you're a fascist because he can't use your property like he wants to.
Right. Yeah, he can't come on. He can't come on and do his spiel on my channel. Right.
How dare you not let me take your property?
How dare you? How dare
You're
you?
You're the fascist.
Not let my dog shit on your lawn. I mean, that is a fascist act. It's like,
I think it would just be wrong from the standpoint of platforming a pedophile.
Well, we got no proof, John.
Yep, no proof.
Okay, so
plus, he has trashed like Pagan Mom says, and I know he has really trashed Wild Eden, and I'd rather have them in the side chat and in the stream than worry about somebody like Smokey.
Yeah, you've just been too goddamn nasty to people. You're like
very nasty.
Very nasty. You're like that drunken uncle that nobody wants for Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, and let's be clear here, though. Like you said, you kind of enjoy the way he can do the stream of consciousness, like insult, on and on and on, like without taking a breath. And you're right, that is quite talented. But like, I need people to understand, because like back when I was having my problems here like a month ago, I was being compared to him by people that I thought were my friend. And the fact of the matter is yeah, I could insult people, but we did not take Smokey to task simply because he insults people. Okay, Smokey is a misogynist, and he was going after women and degrading them live on air. He's a racist. He is homophobic. And he just, he doesn't just insult. He goes after groups of people and says horrible fucking things about them.
If he did it, as a stand-up act, as a comic act, it would be great. I mean, he'd be. That's what he should apply to. But he's actually seriously leveling these things at human beings, and that's just fucking nasty. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Yeah, he's not the new woke version of misogynist, racist, and homophobic. He's the old-fashioned version.
Yeah, the old-fashioned version. Anyway, whatever. There's been some talk of me and him having a talk again. I wanted to explain pudding to him, but I don't think it'll go well. I don't know. A lot of people don't want me to do that talk, so I don't know. I should listen. You guys are quiet today.
Well, I think you should listen. Yes, you should.
Yeah, I agree. It wouldn't go well, so it's not worth it.
Yeah,
it's not worth
verbal
your time.
abuse.
You got better things to do, right? I mean, really, right? You do. You got better things to do with yourself than.
I got a hell of a lot of other things to do. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it'd be good if you had like a little debate with him and just made it clear one rule: as soon as you insult someone, you forfeit your time.
It's over. Yeah,
and he would last about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you can do phases, right? So if the second phase through he insults someone and he loses like 5 minutes of his rebuttal, fine. He just loses it. The other person gets to talk now.
So, like, how about like if you want to have like a similar experience to that, we could just like set up an interview with you and like, I don't know, like a paper bag full of dog shit.
Yeah. We could do that.
It's not quite the same. You might need to light it on fire.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, an interview, I tried to unofficially set up a one-on-one with you and Ontangelo, Speed.
You did?
Ontangelo is very, very upset. I will have you know.
About yesterday? About the
betting? Yeah. He's very upset. And I said that, you need to set up and talk to you. Told him you were just playing, that you really do like him. And
there's no proof. Wait a minute. There's no proof that was me that played that song.
Yeah. There's not, but well. So anyway, I tried to talk him into it. He didn't actually give me an answer. But
I can't believe my mic was off the whole fucking time. There's no proof that it wasn't, Speed.
Yeah, but there's no proof that it was. So are you guys going to throw me under the bus? Pretend that none of you did it? Because it
was Peter.
I mean,
you blamed it on Peter. And by the way, he's really, really mad at Peter. He's even worse so than you. On Tangelo, I mean, he's really pissed at Peter. So Peter jumps in here. We'll have to let him know. Tangelo is very unhappy. Yeah.
Is this the yakety sax thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but are people supposed to be remorseful over angering Otangelo? I'm not getting what's going on here.
Yeah, he sounds to me like Richard Darth Dawkins getting mad at Canadian Catholic when that professor, was explaining stuff, and then Canadian Catholic muted Darth, and so on and so forth. He's just trying to control the room. He's always sucking up bandwidth. I'm talking about Otangelo now, and he wants to control the room because that's what his big brother Darth did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why are we coddling Otangelo? Because I kind of have, a thing for Otangelo, and I miss him. I thought we had a relationship.
Well, my attitude is if he wants to come on here, fine. Answer direct questions and don't read to us, and people will be nicer to him, I guess. But
that's like having a fish on as a guest and saying, you know what, you can come on, but don't swim, don't breathe underwater.
I know.
That is true.
He shall be retooled in the name of creationism. You have been warned.
Hey, Speed.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on today.
Hey, not a problem. Is somebody eating fucking potato chips in the mic again? Is that you, Midnight? Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
So.
Shit.
Anyway, on Otangelo, he is just not capable of, reading off of his, what does he call his soundboard there? Not a soundboard, but his blog or whatever he calls it. Yeah, he's just not capable. He's been begged and pleaded with. Just give me your answer. I want to hear it from you. And he just cannot bring himself to do it. He has to read that stuff. And I know we've talked about this before. I think he's just so afraid of making a mistake. And if he gives his own opinion, that's when he makes mistakes or gives his own view of it. He'll make a mistake and then he gets torn apart. So I think that's his reason.
I have a question. What terrible deed did I do yesterday?
I don't know, but he's mad.
Well,
he's really mad at you.
It could have been really mad at me.
Yeah,
for some reason, and I have no clue why. He blocked me.
I wasn't eating chips, Speed.
Huh?
You muted me. I wasn't eating chips.
Who was eating chips?
Not me.
Okay, well, I muted you because when people are eating chips, it's usually you.
No, it's not this time. Okay.
Okay.
I just want to say, Peter, he's mad at you because you're the fall guy. That's
Peter.
Yeah.
I'm the what?
Peter, there's no evidence that it wasn't you that played the Benny Hinn song last night.
I did play that, but the it's not Benny Hinn, it's Benny Hill. But
why did you? No, you weren't supposed to.
Blasphemy.
No, Benny Hinn.
You called him Benny Hinn. It's Benny Hill.
Of course, Peter means allegedly he played it.
Peter.
No.
Peter.
I did play it.
Listen.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Peter?
I did ask all of you later because Otangelo responded to that and said, "I'm not going to be here in 2 weeks, and then if you play it again, I'll be leaving for 4 weeks." So I asked what the deal was with Otangelo and the song. I wasn't aware of that, but if that is the case, well then. Fuck you, Otangelo. I didn't know. And you didn't tell me what I did wrong. So, and then blocked me everywhere so I can't ask what I did wrong. Hey, fuck you.
Yeah, but somebody actually played the song.
I did.
We don't know who it is, but somebody played the damn song just like that. Just like you just heard. Whoever did it again. I don't know who the hell it is. But anyway, so Peter.
Oh, and by the way, all evening last night, that damn song was going up through my head like a bee, like a bumblebee. So thank you, whoever that was.
I'm trying to have a conversation with Peter here. Peter, Otangelo calls it Benny Hinn. You didn't know that?
It's Benny Hill.
Fuck you. Mine's worse.
I'm fucking surprised you didn't get copyrighted.
In my head, video.
It's the war of bidding him.
Well, if that is the case, okay. If that is the case, if that is why he blocked me, then fuck Otangelo, because I didn't know this. And I will play that song often from now on.
I know your history. I know your history with Otangelo, Peter, and I'm guessing that was one of about 100 reasons why he might have blocked you.
Well,
no, because he sent me several links over the past few days and asked me to read that. So there was nothing wrong between me and Otangelo. It was something that happened on your show, because he sent me a DM on Discord during your show.
Really?
Yes, and I will read it out. Let me get it for you.
Real quick.
He said, "Don't engage me again." Bye. So I wasn't planning on getting engaged to Otangelo. I already have 2 women, so I'm perfectly fine with what I have right now. Also, we don't have room in the cabins to put up someone else. But if that is it, I mean, I've defended Otangelo several times over the past few weeks.
Yes, I'm a witness to this.
About me playing a song, he can go fuck himself.
So, Danny, if you're there, Danny, can you play yakety sax on your violin?
Probably not.
Okay.
That would be
Danny,
good.
Has Otangelo blocked you, Danny? Because you sure as hell tore him a new asshole a few times.
No.
No? He hasn't.
I'm so happy to hear Peter say fuck Otangelo.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm all about having a decent conversation. I put a lot of work. I made the artwork so we can have a show that would go back and forth between my channel and his. If all it takes is playing a song and you don't even know what the story behind the song is, and then you get blocked, then you're not an adult. That means that you have the mindset of a 5-year-old, and you can go fuck yourself. That's it.
I would like to add that Otangelo called me a coward for blocking him on my channel. So just saying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Wait, why did you block him on your channel?
Because when I posted my interview with Kent Hovind's ex-wife, who was abused by Kent Hovind, I put a pinned comment that said that if you've been abused, or if you're in a relationship, or you know somebody who is that's in an abusive relationship, you can call this number. And I put the number to the National Center for Abuse in their website. And then Otangelo commented below that basically that atheists pretend to care about stuff like this and they're phony, basically. And so I banned him.
Good reason to ban him.
He just doesn't understand that atheists don't abide by his prejudices against atheists. Like, we can be good and decent and caring. We can be what's the word?
Empathetic.
Yeah, no, not empathetic. But, altruistic. Give of yourself for the sake of others and shit. So.
Me and Immutable and Leo, I mean, we go after each other a hell of a lot more seriously. We will go after Otangelo, I think. So I don't know. We need to.
By the way, honestly, you know what? One of these days, I want to sit you and Immutable down and just maybe Leo and just talk about this, because I don't know. It just seems like when it comes to this scientism, you guys seem to not understand each other. Then again, it's probably a waste of time knowing Immutable.
Immutable has to work on his listening skills before that happens.
And that's what I'm saying. It might be a waste of time.
Because it's a long and windy road and it takes a while to explain, but he just right away goes to the fucking dictionary or straw man. Whatever. So Danny, where the hell you been? Where you been hanging out lately? I haven't seen you on any streams. You haven't been on Praises, right? What you been doing?
I had an interview with Dr. Bernardo Castrop this morning, but that was a big mistake on my part because I thought it was 8 p.m., but it ended up being 8 a.m. So I had to, I don't know, my sleep schedule's been very off.
Yeah,
Did you,
scheduling collabs is like the worst.
Yeah, he's in European, like Central European, Eastern, I don't know, something in the middle of Europe. I think he's actually in the Netherlands, Peter. But and I just got the time zones wrong, and so I had to have an interview at 8 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah. I watched it, Danny. It was very good. I saw
Oh,
it.
you liked it?
Yeah,
yeah, it's very complex stuff. Was it understandable? Because there was a point where I couldn't understand him in the beginning.
Yeah, it was. I've listened to him a little bit before, and it is very complex. I mean, when he's, he covers a lot, right? Obviously, he ventures into a lot of different things, so that's what makes it kind of difficult. So, yeah.
He's also very opinionated, which is kind of
yeah.
Not very typical among professional philosophers in the public domain.
Well, what's his? How would you describe his philosophy? What's his deal?
He's an idealist, but yeah, he's an idealist.
He is an idealist, huh? What flavor?
He's an objective idealist. The idea is there is a distinction between your mental states and the external world, but the external world is namely qualitative, which is to say it's mental as well.
Okay.
So that's basically the flavor, I guess, of idealism, because you're right, there are a lot of flavors of idealism.
There are a lot.
Hey, Speed, I know you mentioned praise. Did you know that he reacted to a video that I did with Dr. Dan?
Yes.
Oh yeah. That's been a topic of conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I've missed the stream.
Well, he called Dr. Dan a Bolshevik and a
communist.
Author. How does he say it?
An authoritarian.
Authoritarian. Yeah, authoritarian. So, what were you? Were you like a Bolshevik too?
I didn't really get mentioned. I was kind of offended.
God damn it. Yeah, I'd be pissed.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, no.
Peter was the one that notified me about this.
Yeah, I think we covered a little bit of that yesterday.
Yeah, I tried watching it, but he yells too much. It hurts my ears.
Yeah, and he certainly is a funny guy.
Praise is very special.
Indeed.
Yep.
But I don't know if you saw the original video, Speed, but I thought that was a pretty good interview. Me and Dr. Dan, a good talk we had.
We played a little bit of the part where he took offense, which was you guys were talking about Hovind, I think, and then Dr. Dan said that people that spout hate speech should be bad, shouldn't have a platform, I think, and that's why he's a Bolshevik.
Well, he specifically said people that think being gay is a capital offense, and I believe capital offense means you get executed for it.
Yeah, exactly.
And my opinion on the matter is, if you say stuff on your channel that violates YouTube's TOS and you get your channel deleted, that's not because of cancel culture or censorship. That's just you breaking the rules of the site.
Well, the interesting thing is that YouTube is a business and they get to do what they want as far as who they censor or who they allow. Don't you think?
Yeah, but the issue.
Yeah, it's not like the government censoring you, right?
Right.
Well, yeah, but the issue, the issue with that, the issue with that, if they start censoring everybody, then they're not gonna have any customers left, are they?
No, they won't,
Yeah.
and that's how businesses work. That's just.
But that's YouTube. Dr. Dan doesn't have the power to ban Praise or Smokey from YouTube. He doesn't have that power.
Right. But isn't that a Republican platform plank? Basically, that business.
Dr. Dan is God. Don't you know that?
Yeah, I guess so.
He's got a pretty big brain.
No, Danny scared John off.
Yeah. Sorry, Danny.
Well, let's rephrase that. He didn't scare, John just won't occupy the same space with Danny.
But that's just not true, because last time I was here, maybe that was like a week ago, he stayed.
No, he left right away.
No, I clearly remember he stayed. I'll
really?
John Peterson.
Yeah.
Yeah. John don't do Dan.
Hey, Danny, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Jay Garfield, do you know his work?
No, I don't, but I've heard the name.
Yeah, he's did a debate with Darth Dawkins on Canadian Catholic.
Oh, yes, I did see some of that.
What'd you think of it?
I literally saw the thumbnails and stuff, but I actually didn't.
Okay.
The conversation. Is it worth me going through it, or did you?
I think so. I think the answers he gave to Dawkins were, to me, pretty good. I mean,
okay, I'll look at it.
Yeah.
Okay, but how much Buddhism was it? Because he could be really heavy on the Buddhism.
You talking about Garfield?
Yeah.
Really?
I did not know that.
The little that I saw from Garfield was outside of the discussion of Darth, and he was pretty salient. So maybe I should have. I had a reason to watch it before you told me. So.
Did I detect a flavor of disdain when you said Buddhism servers?
I mean, no. It's a waste of time.
Do you not like Wild Eden?
Hang on a second here. I may have to make an executive decision.
No. You don't have to get rid of him. I just wanted to come in real quick and clear something up because I'm taking exception to
the scared of.
Danny scared me off.
I know. I try to correct it, John.
I just choose not to interact with him because I find him absolutely repugnant.
Okay, I did correct it. But okay.
Well, speed.
Speed.
Here you go.
Repugnant
Just because somebody says Buddhism is a waste of time, it does not mean you get to kick them out.
I don't think that's what he was talking about.
He didn't.
No, it wasn't that. No, I was talking about when John came in. I was going to have to let Danny go or let one of them go.
What'd you mean?
I mean, if he really
I was trying to say
come
something.
in, he can just ask me to leave, and I'll leave.
I didn't think you were trying to say. I heard an obnoxious noise, so I muted somebody. Buddhism.
Okay, whatever. Fuck you too.
Okay, fuck you. Well, did you make the obnoxious noise, or was that somebody else?
I was making a point, but whatever.
I think he just hit his microphone.
Oh,
no,
okay.
not really. I was muted by the host.
Anyway, long story short, you probably like Garfield Speed if you saw a lecture of his somewhere.
If I like what now?
You'd probably like Garfield if you watched a lecture of his somewhere.
Okay.
His specialty is Tibetan Buddhism.
Yeah, I think it's also kind of the little I heard. It was very clear in what he was saying, whether you agreed or disagreed.
Do we have a link to that in the description?
I'll get the Jefferson Spatchcock thing. I have it up already.
Okay, I guess well, Jefferson has a link to the original. Probably.
We should welcome Leo into the stream. He just added himself.
Hi, Leo.
I definitely didn't add myself.
Well,
I wasn't actually going to join, and then I scrolled up looking for the link, and I scrolled up too far, and then I saw that Smoky Saint was timed out by Iron Charioteer, so I scrolled up a little more, and I unhid this comment since I'm a mod and I can do that. And I figured that the only way this is ever going to be seen or heard by either Smoky or Maddox is if I actually come in and say it, because they're not going to read the live chat replay.
What did they say?
Me, Speed here, and Immutable, all three have offered to debate or just have a simple cordial discussion with Maddox on numerous occasions each. He straight up admitted he will not debate me. He said Speed is too slow and Immutable is too boring to debate. So we've offered to debate him on more than one occasion and he refuses. So please don't come here telling us, well, why don't we just debate him instead of whining when we have offered to debate or discuss with him and he's turned down every single time.
I think we have a request, Leo, for a dance number.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, for you to dance to the
Benny Hill song.
I still don't know what that means.
Okay.
You know the Benny Hill music?
Yeah.
What?
They love when you dance to the Benny Hill music.
I don't dance to music.
Yes, you have done that before. Quite a while. You don't remember doing that?
No,
yeah.
I've never gotten up and danced on a stream.
You
really?
did. You did. We'll have to search for
no. Go find it. Yeah, good luck. I don't know how you find it's you will be as successful finding that as you will finding God for the same reason they don't exist. So
I don't know about that. Why are people requesting it in chat?
I mean, I might have done like something like this, but that's not dancing. When I hear dancing, I'm thinking you're thinking I got up and danced. Like this isn't dancing.
That's
That's
different.
not.
Okay. Forget the dance. How about a jig?
Yeah.
No.
Jig. There you go.
Well, I already did it just then, and then Speed has already played the music, so just put them both together in your mind, and there you go.
Okay.
I'll edit it together later.
Yeah, we'll put it.
There you go.
No, we'll go find the original because he did a really good job. I think it was like late on Saturday night, and he was sucking on a beer. Could have been his 12th. We don't know. There's no proof.
What I can say is I will probably, he's got to ask him about the subject, but I'm sure that he'll be okay with it. I will be debating T-Jump this Saturday, obviously on MDD. Hopefully we get the topic. He agrees to the topic, systemic racism in policing.
So what did Smokey say that got him banned?
Well, he didn't get banned. He got timed out.
Or timed out.
He called you a moron.
Oh, well.
I don't know what he did, but I can read you the comment that he wrote.
Yeah, read the comment because there's
he
more
said
to
you
it.
could. He said you could just debate, and this is the only one that I saw. I don't know. He was timed out after this. I didn't see any other comments. I don't know if he said anything before this or not. I can't scroll up that far. But the one I saw was you could just debate Maddox, Speed. You seem to prefer to just whining about him when there is no chance he will be exposed as a moron. Which is funny because you've already debated him. And even though you were like severely lacking in sleep, I would argue that he still didn't really seem to understand you or anything.
Nope.
Not to mention that you, as well as Immutable, myself, and a couple others, have offered to have debates or discussions with him, and he won't do it.
Yeah.
I wonder why. Who's really the one who seems to be scared of being exposed as somebody who doesn't actually understand what they claim to?
I think if you're watching a YouTube video of a stream and you go back like towards the beginning of the video, it will scroll the chat back to match that timestamp of the video.
Yeah, if you do the live chat replay,
yeah.
I just don't feel like doing that.
I see what you're saying.
I just don't feel like doing that for a Smoky Saint comment.
Yeah, it's too much effort.
Too much effort. Yeah, I'll check it out later, I guess.
I wouldn't drink a beer in Smoky Saint's name, but you know whose name I would drink a beer in?
Amelia Clark.
That is right. That is right. I will drink a beer for Danny because I like Danny.
Oh, I thought you were going for Amelia Clark.
No. If I could drink enough beer for her to match like how awesome she is, I would have died of alcohol poisoning. And I would still have a lot more left to drink. A lot more. A lot more.
In the afterlife.
There is no afterlife.
Damn.
So there are 2 videos that I got to link.
Wait, do you have proof of that?
I don't need proof.
Okay.
Put stuff in the description. I'm putting the spatchcock and the 2 original videos that he talks about Darth Dawkins in the description for anybody who cares to look at the description, which has many links, which I have carefully corrected.
You can learn a lot from our descriptions.
You can learn a lot from our descriptions.
Did Stephanie really just say that beer is purified water?
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the case, then a 7-year-old with a couple bucks can go to the store and buy a whole ass gallon of beer. I didn't know that.
Okay. That has to be a troll. Please, Stephanie, tell me you're trolling. Please.
I really hope so. I really hope that's what the LOL at the end is. I hope she's just getting at the idea that she thinks beer is weak, which a lot of people say that. But I mean, when you're drinking the 9, 10, 11, 12, 13%, couple of them will be on your ass.
By the way, Leo.
Is there a particular amount of alcohol that it has to be, their threshold of alcohol in order for beer to hydrate you, or is all beer?
I have no fucking clue.
Hydrate you? It's hard to get hydrated. I don't know. That would be interesting. I know most beer has 1 ounce of alcohol, and if you drink more than 1 an hour, you'll tend to get drunk.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know about that one.
Doesn't it dehydrate? Isn't that why like you get
beer? Yeah, it pulls
5% of 12.
It pulls electrolytes out of your body.
Okay.
Yeah, and
So
we
that-
know.
What did Atheist Junior just say?
I have
What's
no idea.
5% of the number 12?
Do the math.
Is
I'm bad at
that 7 or 6? 6.
You
Point
you
six?
say you say you're bad at math,
No.
but what you
Point
realize
six.
is if you did math more, you would get better at it and wouldn't be bad at math anymore.
Is it 0.6?
That's a good point.
Somewhere
Yeah.
around there, yeah.
I think so. Yeah. So that's how much alcohol is in 12 ounces of beer.
How much?
Well, back in
I mean,
history,
6 fluid ounces. I think.
the English used to drink beer in the mornings.
You're telling me half of a can of beer
Water.
is
Oh,
alcohol?
sorry, Leah. Go ahead.
That's not what I said.
Somebody fucked up their math.
This panel
Go
this
ahead.
panel is weird.
I could understand 0.6 fluid ounces.
Well, in
being
strong
alcohol,
beer,
but 6 fluid ounce, that's half. That's literally
Yeah,
half of the
it was-
can being ethyl alcohol. No, I'm
No,
sorry,
it's
that's
point-
not a
point
beer.
six.
Oh yeah, 0.6. Yeah, 0.6 fluid ounces. a little
Okay,
over
most-
half.
most strong beer is like 0.62%.
That's a lot.
What?
It's
Really?
it's not a heavy beer. If I would say until it's over at least 7%, maybe even 8. It has to be at or over that for me to consider it. Like Budweiser is not a light beer or not a heavy beer. It's a light beer. It's only
I mean,
Yeah, it's 5%.
I mean, come on.
Point
It's not a heavy beer.
0.62% is basically mouthwash.
0.62%? I don't know. I don't know how much alcohol is in mouthwash.
Like Natty
More than
Light
that.
has more than 1%.
Well, I think like Listerine is like 10%, isn't it, or something like that?
I don't know.
You're not supposed to fucking
I
drink
hate
it.
to go off topic here, but just to get back to our comments about Jay Garfield, he specializes in Tibetan Buddhism, so there we go. But he also deals with philosophy of mind, cognitive science, epistemology, blah blah blah.
So really quickly for speed, Listerine is about 26.9% alcohol. Listerine is 54 proof. Listerine is stronger than some fucking liquors
Holy
that are out there.
fuck.
You
I
want
don't
them
know.
for
Mouthwash
cheap?
is
Go buy
21%.
some Listerine. How much you guys want to bet that there are rednecks out there that probably pound a couple of glasses of Listerine every night and just get plastered
You know what?
off?
You know
I mean,
what?
there were
Now
kids in high school that used to drink Listerine when I was there.
I honestly can't believe. Like, I mean, it makes sense, right? Because when you drink it, you do have that like burning sensation, kind of, because you're trying to wash your mouth out. So
The funny thing is, though, I'm pretty sure that the alcohol that's in like Listerine and other stuff is oftentimes denatured. So I don't know actually if it can.
What does that
get
mean?
drunk. I don't know. I don't know if denatured alcohol can actually intoxicate you.
Well, no. What is denatured?
I don't know. I don't know what that word means.
Oh, denatured is they put shit that's poisonous in it.
No, that's
Can't
not
drink
what denatured means.
Alcohol
yeah, it is.
technically is a poison, isn't it?
Oh yeah, alcohol's already a poison. Fun fact: poison doesn't mean toxic.
Oh, we don't want to get Leo started on alcohol again.
Okay.
Okay.
Denatured alcohol
Okay.
just means that it has something that's foul tasting added to it.
No, here you go. They add 10% methyl alcohol, which makes you fucking go blind. So
Huh.
Yeah, so they denature it with methyl alcohol. Yeah, they do that to make it undrinkable, so like people don't want to drink it. Some dumbasses still do.
Or alcoholics.
we still drink it. We just put up with the side effects.
It can make you go blind. I mean, wine has it in it too.
Yeah. Well, 10% is pretty high level of methyl alcohol. So yeah, that's not good. Denatured alcohol. Clean strip. They use it for you can strip varnish with it. I didn't know that.
Yeah. You didn't know that? Wow. There's
Nobody
something
knows that.
There's something that like every boomer knows that a boomer didn't know. I'm surprised reality isn't tearing apart at the seams.
It could. Well, I use shit to strip varnish that makes it bubble and peel, and the fumes come off of like green fumes, and it's like fucking.
Green fumes? Are you sure that's not chlorine, my guy?
It probably is. I don't know. It's a bunch of other shit
I thought
too.
chlorine was yellow.
No,
Speed
I
is
think
poisoning
chlorine-
himself.
Chlorine, I think, is more like a greenish-y, yellowy, kind of like baby diarrhea colored. So
Or-
like it could
Thanks
be
for the
both.
image.
A good propane torch also strips varnish pretty well sometimes. Well, yeah, it works.
So
Occasionally burned a few houses down in my day, but
Yeah, it can range from like a lighter limey green to a really dark pissy yellow.
Have you
It
ever
just kind
seen
of depends
bromine
on
gas?
what gas.
Bromine?
No.
Yeah,
Bromine is
muriatic
like blood
acid is
red.
like that, right? Muriatic
It
acid
looks-
is like that. Goes green and
Yeah,
yellow.
so
oh yeah, that's chlorine.
Yeah.
Speed, I'd like to put forward a motion.
Motion to what, Peter?
A motion to have a special song commemorating, let's say, Switzerland, chickens, stuff like that.
Switzerland and chickens. Go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, this
Yes.
is intriguing.
It is.
This is. Let's.
I find it concerning.
You guys know how to party, man.
Peter, you are definitely done now. You are all done now for sure.
I
He
was
sees
already.
that.
I was
Fuck
already
me.
done. If you can be man enough to tell me what I did wrong, this is what you deserved. You are a chicken, and that's exactly what you deserve.
I'm sorry, but like what Peter did is kind of funny, and I'm sure it might be irritating to Otangelo, but ultimately, let's all be honest here, it's fucking harmless. Like if you can't handle that, get the fuck off the internet.
Exactly. By the way, that brings me to something.
Wait till he
that
aims at you, then, Leo. Okay.
Probably,
just don't
probably
cast
the only
stones,
one here
you know what I'm saying?
who will recognize this, and that's Simus Funk. Simus, if you look at the screen, do you see Richard Iowati
No. I'm looking for
next
no,
to you on screen?
Right.
No. Sorry,
I was watching.
I missed it.
You don't know who Richard Iowati is?
Yeah, the name rings a bell, but is he the guy that was in IT Crowd or something?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a good show.
And now look at the screen, the guy next to you. You will never be able to unsee it. If people don't know this, Google Richard Iowati and then put him next to a picture of Leo. You will never be able to unsee it.
How in the fuck?
And if you hear both,
I have
speak,
no idea.
you
I
will
know what the guy
exactly-
looks like, and Leo doesn't look anything like him.
He doesn't really
He
have
doesn't?
the hair.
No, if anything, that's a tad racist, actually, there, Peter.
Well, you have to hear him speak as well.
Yeah, dude, I grew up in rural Iowa. Every time somebody saw a black person, like, oh, hey, is that your cousin? Like, at this point, I'm used to it. But the saddest part is, obviously, this doesn't apply to Peter, but it applies to a lot of the people that lived in this area. They would actually be serious because they're so fucking stupid. They don't understand. But it's rural Iowa. What do you expect from people here?
Leo.
There's like no like renowned like physicists and biologists and doctors that are like really out of Iowa. Maybe doctors, but everybody else no.
Yeah, just Slipknot.
You're black, Leo?
No.
No.
Do I look black?
No.
That's it.
Oh,
We have
so
to kick
then
in the systematic racism.
Why would you have asked me? I'm mixed. That's another thing that is kind of a pet peeve of mine. The minute you're mixed, you automatically become black. Even if the majority of you is actually still white or other than black, in the eyes of most white people, you become a black person. That's how, no pun intended, black and white their thinking is on racial issues because we don't teach anybody anything about what racism actually is.
Well, we're just recognizing.
I'm not talking about people's colors. I'm just saying that you
That
look
guy
like
right there
that
looks
guy who had a haircut.
kind of. That's a good looking
It's like
guy.
I said, he doesn't have the hair.
In my quote unquote lived experience,
Yeah, like,
people
if I
tend to
put out-
think you are whatever you look like.
Who's this guy?
Yeah, and oftentimes most people don't
He's
look
a
like what they are.
comedian, English comedian.
Okay.
Comedian. He's also a
Comic
movie
actor.
director, an actor.
Could you spell his name in chat or something? Because I'm not getting it from what you're saying. Iowati. I don't know what that. Iowati
Can
is.
you name
This is
some
from
like,
a British
movies,
sitcom.
shows that he's been in?
The IT Crowd.
Don't know that. Like ones that like Americans would know.
There you go.
No, nothing Americans would know.
No.
He's not that big.
Oh, holy shit! That's Iowati. Oh,
That's
He's very,
Iowati.
he's very dry.
I'd call it an
And-
I.
and-
oh,
Very,
And-
very,
and-
very,
and to
very,
be-
very, very British humor. guy.
Yeah,
Cool.
and to be specific, the guy is brilliant. So it's not an insult to compare Leo with this guy. When he gets mad, awesome.
Oh,
Just saying.
By the way, Simus, I actually think British humor is pretty fucking funny. It's about the only
Oh,
good thing.
okay.
They've got what the Germans don't.
Yeah, so does the rest of the world, to be fair.
Yeah, yeah.
Apart
Does he
from
have a-
Poland.
But the rest of the world has what the Brits don't, and that's good food.
What's that? Well,
Does he
you
have
say
any?
that.
I'm sorry.
Just
There are
showing your ignorance, really, I'm afraid.
Right, yeah. There are no well-known dishes that have come from England. I'm sorry,
Oh,
there's not.
Really?
Spain, Italy, France, places like that. Yes, I mean even like the Scandinavian and Norwegian country. England, Britain? No. Oh,
Right.
fish, chips, cup of tea.
Fish
That's
and
about
chips.
it.
There you go.
Bad
That's
food,
classic.
worst weather, Mary fucking Poppins, London. That's about all you guys are known for. I'm
Okay.
sorry, I'm giving this shit.
That's okay, mate. I would say coronation chicken is fairly famous.
I mean, literally every kind of pudding.
Wait, hold on. Did you say
Oh,
carnation chicken or coronation chicken?
Coronation chicken.
Okay.
It's English.
Black
so you
pudding.
probably understand it.
I actually haven't heard of it, but it does sound pretty good.
Oh yes, it's fantastic. Queen
Yeah,
Victoria.
the funny thing is there actually are a few native English dishes that are pretty fucking good. It's just
Oh,
I
yeah.
give the English British shit.
I realize this. I realize this. You're a little bit racist yourself. I get that. It's no
Are
problem.
you calling me an Anglophobe? Is that what you're calling me? An Anglophobe?
I mean, didn't apple pie come from Britain too?
Did
I would
pie
imagine
come
so,
from
yeah.
Britain? I thought that pie in that style came from.
Oh, there's loads of things, right?
Would you take
Beef Wellington?
Credit for tikka masala, chicken tikka masala?
Yeah, probably tikka masala. Yeah, that's a later dish. I mean,
But
I
the
don't
thing
know
is,
whether that's actually a British dish. That's probably us just bastardizing an Indian dish.
How about black pudding?
Black pudding. There you go.
how
Which
about
isn't pudding.
white cake?
Oh,
What?
I'm going to say a
Simus,
bad word,
Simus,
but I'm not
Simus.
referring to the bad thing.
Spotted dick.
For the people,
No,
who do not know what
starts with an
black
F,
pudding
Simon.
is, can you tell them what the main ingredient is?
Of what? Black pudding.
Black pudding.
Oh,
Is it
blood.
blood? Yeah.
Yeah.
Blood and fat.
Yeah,
So-
Jeffy in the chat fucking loves black pudding.
Oh my
I
goodness.
I don't think I would eat it.
So
And
there
his brother doesn't
was
like piccolini much.
there was one major contribution that every American has eaten that came from the British.
Oh.
We just don't recognize it. Recognize that it came from the British because it got added to spaghetti. Because
Oh, garlic bread?
no. I mean the British call it something that I would get in trouble for saying, even though it's its proper name.
Type it in the
Outside-
private chat.
I'm intrigued now.
No, seriously, just
No,
type it in the
yeah.
private
What the
chat.
hell is this? Put it in private chat.
There you go. Put in
Oh,
private chat.
right. Yeah.
You gotta remember there's a context for things. If you say they're
Okay.
called faggots, if somebody gets offended, then that's
What
their
are
own
they?
goddamn. Hold
Yeah,
on.
but I'm trying.
That's their
I'm
own
trying not to
goddamn
get
fault for.
speed flagged. Right? I'm trying to be nice to speed. That's,
What? But speed isn't gay, so how would that? How would that be?
yeah,
not
but
being
people
nice?
don't care.
It's a no word on YouTube, dude.
Understand what
Well,
the
actually,
issue is.
But
Okay,
yeah,
so-
yeah, those are the types of meatballs that got added to spaghetti in America.
Okay, but what are they?
Yeah.
What
Meatballs.
does it mean? What do they
They're
consist?
basically just mild meatballs. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Meatball?
they're actually a brand name as well.
I don't believe in the
Wait,
fucking.
there's a brand
British
name of
Isles.
meatballs called faggots.
Yeah, well, that's faggots
Oh.
are meatballs.
Yeah, yeah.
I do not believe in the British Isles.
Spaghetti and faggots.
No.
Yeah, exactly. One is a stick, literally.
Yeah.
Too.
I thought this was
Step outside and enjoy a nice fag.
Yeah, well, that's what we used to do.
Speed's
back
not
in the
going to
day.
get flagged for this because of the context. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Is that actually censored speech on YouTube?
context
Well,
dependent. I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, the way YouTube works, right? It largely depends on who's watching you and how willing they are to flag the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pork faggots. It'd be no different than if I said nigger toes, like Brazilian nuts. A lot of people know them as nigger toes.
Oh, Jesus
You're not going to
Christ,
get in trouble for that.
Leo,
Oh,
I mean, but why are you pushing it?
I'm also, I'm
Okay.
a colored
okay.
man, so I can
this
use
stream
that
is
word.
gone already.
yeah, because that comes through on the audio fucking YouTube thing,
Yeah.
right?
it does. It does, and you will get a strike for it.
No, you won't.
Yes, you will.
No, you won't. If you think that you'll get a strike for that, you need to watch way more American conservatives on YouTube.
Okay, you're gonna pay if I do, Leo. You're gonna fucking pay.
I'm not gonna pay anything. All you gotta do is if YouTube takes the video down and say that's racist because it was a mixed African American man who said that word, he can't say his own people's word. Wow, YouTube, you're so racist. And then they'll because of their wokeness, they'll like explode with that paradox, and then your channel will be restored.
But if they're too woke, they'll just say you internalized your oppression. And they have to stop you.
That's a good one.
Oh, okay, thank you, Spooky.
We have to prevent this.
I'm corrected by the master, Mr. Professional.
Okay, what the
Spooky.
fuck? Is that real? There is a brand name called Brains?
Yes, that was real. I think.
See, that's why I don't believe in the British Isles.
There's a PhD neuroscientist on Twitter whose name is Dr. Catherine Brain. She's literally Dr. Brain.
There's all these great like 80s, 90s commercials for British meatballs where they're saying the word, but they're saying it like really hard. Like it's really pronounced.
Look at
hilarious.
what is on the picture. It is a bit covered by the ice logo, but it does say Mr. Brains.
Yeah,
Mr. Brains. 6
Frozen.
pork faggots. 656 grams of protein, huh?
Professor Catherine Brain.
Yes.
Obviously, that's not very old, but yes.
Dr. Brain, the neuroscientist.
Yeah, that's like
That'd be like Dr. Starr, the astrophysicist.
When I was a little kid, they used to take us to Dr. Payne.
Or Dr.
And
Plant, the biologist.
It was Pain, and he would give us a fucking penicillin shot if we had a sniffle. I mean, he'd stick a fucking needle in our ass. They loved penicillin back in the day.
There you go, Mr.
Yeah.
Brains.
And they were nice.
Dr. Payne.
They
Oh,
were
what
nice.
the guy that did my knee surgery, he was called like Dr. Twitch or some fucking thing. I can't remember, but he was like, he came running into the room and was like, blah, 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 check my knee, surgery, blah, 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 and he was out. It's just like, what the hell was his name? I don't know. It was like something like Twitch. It was, and I was like, okay, that fits.
Okay, I'm gonna go. John, you can come back in now. Okay.
Okay, Danny, thank you.
By the way, speaking of like doctors and weird names that come after it, Speed, you need to like get with me and do what I did and come up with a fancy doctor something name that represents your channel or what you talk about. Like I have Dr. Eigenstate. You need Dr. some word from like genetics or biochemistry.
Dr. Pudding.
Dr. Pudding is dumb. It's got to be like a cool sciencey word that like nobody knows what it actually means.
Oh, Dr. Topo isomerase. Oh, that would be Sal.
Actually, that's pretty cool. Dr. Topo isomerase. I like that. That's pretty cool.
Sal would be proud. He would be
Dr.
proud.
Eigenstate and Dr. Topo isomerase.
Yep. We well, it's only 5:30. I have a hard quit at 6 today. Like it's the channel's just going to disappear. Not the John. Okay, it's not the real John. It's the other John.
The scary guy's gone.
No, this is the real John.
You know, I don't know if you saw my post in chat, but I said the algorithm doesn't analyze the word that comes after the N word, LOL. You know, like it's like the algorithm is set up to recognize certain words.
What's that word?
They don't care. They don't care about the context.
I have a question for the panel. Does anyone here has the face replacement app on their phone?
No.
No.
I think it's called. I think it's called Reface. We need this clip, and we need Otangelo's face on it.
So download one.
Oh yeah, that was classic. I remember that in Austria, #1 in Austria for 5 weeks.
Hey, does anybody know who Assembly of God is? Is that like a troll account?
I don't know who that is either. I think I've seen him around like.
Well, I mean, because they
once or twice before.
capitalized the 3 first letters in Assembly, so that's why I was figuring it was probably not actually a Christian.
Where did you see this person? Oh,
it's in your live chat. Assembly of God.
Please remove that picture of Otangelo, and the chicken says, "Oh no, I don't know who that is."
Well, but look how he spells assembly, though. I think it might be like a troll account.
Yep,
I concur.
Like somebody who's like an atheist trolling Christian.
Oh, by the way, guys, I found out who has the Otangelo Grass Hole sock account. I know who owns that now.
That has been out all.
Don't put it in private chat. Don't make it public.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'll put it private.
It's someone.
Yeah, he told me.
He
told me, and I was like, I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't have guessed you. That's not who I would have expected. But yeah, that's who it is. He's got a couple of. Yeah, he's got a couple of the Harry Penis. Praise God, that one's his too. Yeah, that one. The one that hosts
as well.
Okay, I'll give you the person's channel they're on.
No, Leo,
You got it?
don't.
You got it now?
I got it.
Okay. Yeah. And he's got, like I said, he's got Harry Penis. Praise God, too.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Smokey read his name out on stream the other day.
The whole name, Harry Penis. Praise God.
Yes, it was.
Some of the shit just goes right over their heads. Like, just right over their heads. I'll tell you what, guys. This video that I post, whenever I can get it fucking posted, responding to IP, better get me like 1.5 million views. The amount of fucking time I've spent on this goddamn thing, reading all these different papers and shit, just to already know that the shit he's saying isn't fucking true.
I fucking can't wait for this. Chris Peacock says he can take that video from Peter and put Otangelo's face on it. I can't wait.
I put in the link in the side chat and the email to send it to me. I will play it. If he makes me that part, the yodel and the chicken noise, I'll play that.
Leo, what video are you talking about now?
Give me a second.
Could you possibly
it's mind or matter, which is fundamental, and he's essentially trying to argue that quantum field theory supports idealism, and it does. I'm sorry, it doesn't. I personally would. I mean, just baseline in philosophy, it doesn't support either realism or idealism. But I would make an argument that it better supports, or at least better comports with physicalism or realism than it does idealism.
Who'd we lose?
Danny.
No, somebody else left.
AJ. AJ just bounced himself out. He's back in. Okay, so David Abel is at it again. He produced another paper on academia today.
This is today?
Yep. Does anybody know who this guy is by now?
But why does it say published 3rd of December 2009?
Well, he keeps putting them up on academia. I don't know. I've got about 40 of his papers downloaded.
No, I don't know who he is. Who is he?
David Abel.
Just check out some of these titles. The seemingly subjective liquidity of plausibility.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. That doesn't tell me anything about this guy.
Well, that's what I'm reading it out for. Because obviously it's enlightening.
Do you remember back last year when John Maddox debated R.J. Downard, and he came up with ribosome pausing? The first paper he referenced was from David Abel and D'Onofrio. They're two guys. They claim to be like David Abel claims to be. P.Z. Meyers did a little takedown on him. He claims to be some director of some institute for Biological Information Institute or something, which P.Z. Meyers located the address, and it turns out to be some home in some suburb somewhere. It was somebody's house, right? And so he was going on about it. But these guys put out like these really intensely technical papers on information and biology, and this guy will not admit that he's an intelligent design lover, but he keeps putting out papers, and if you look through his papers...
I have a question.
There's some great titles.
I have a question.
They're fucking...
So is this guy's papers pretty much an example of tell me you're an idea without telling me you're an idea?
Yeah, they have... the thing is, he gets...
Sorry,
he's written 2 books. He's fun to read. Look at this quantification of the universal plausibility metric.
What?
So I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, well, it's abbreviated. If you look there, it's abbreviated.
The UPM.
Yes.
Sounds like a
Well, no,
TV
it's
channel.
abbreviated to Upham.
Mere possibility is not an adequate basis for asserting scientific plausibility.
I don't even know what that means.
A
Well, of course-
precisely defined universal bound is needed beyond which the assertion. So he's going after evolution. You can tell right from the fucking get-go. But
he's
this guy,
right about, he's right about
brilliant.
that though. Possibility
Pete,
is not the.
Yeah.
Pete,
It's
Pete,
probability
have you seen
you
there's a
deal with, right?
Leo has a fan in the side chat? I don't know who that is, but
Yeah, Badge Ease.
Great
Oh, I know what he's talking about. I've been reading. It sounds like he said, "Well done, Leo," but do you know who this is? So he's like, "Okay, hold on. Okay, all right, okay. We're gonna be playing some games now, are we?"
Yeah, I think we can guess who that is. Yeah, no, I mean obviously possibility is not the
Let's just
decisive
say-
measure in a
or
scientific
let's scroll past
theory,
the
is
equation.
it? It's possibility. It's probability that we
He's
deal
going
with,
after
right?
the multi-universe. Yep.
Can you scroll back up to that equation that was up there? Yeah, those.
Okay, so
Ooh,
F
equations.
Supposed.
Okay, the sequence space omega, probability space F/omega.
Equations. Woo.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he's fun to read because he really gets into some shit, and PZ Meyers read his paper and he said, "You know what? This is bullshit from one end to the other." And I started reading his book and I thought, God, this is really interesting because I got 2 books by him, and I got about maybe 5 pages in and it's like, what the fuck? This is all just hot air. It's like there's nothing to grab hold of.
At least he spells Ockham correctly.
Oh yeah, he's pretty.
Leo,
he's smart guy.
You've been rebuked, Leo.
He's been- okay, look at he's linking papers here. Look how many times he links himself. Okay, from 27 down to where the fuck? Down to 39. So that's 12 papers of his own that he links.
Wait a minute. Writing a paper and linking yourself, isn't that kind of like the snake eating its own tail? Like,
Well, it's it's legitimate. But if you go to the creationist site, they have a list of papers that are creationist friendly, and David Abel is like 70% of those papers. And Maddox is always putting him up as an authority, because he's some. Yeah.
So I wanted to answer John's question a little bit more in depth because it's actually a really good question, and it's a question that I've heard from some people. I was like, oh, well, this person cited themselves in one of their papers. So let's say that somebody does like their PhD dissertation on something and they do a paper on that topic, and then they've been in the field for a couple of years and they're still doing research related to that, and they build off of that paper that they did for their dissertation, and they cite their dissertation in that work because they built off of it. That's fine. But when you're doing what this guy's doing and citing yourself 12, 13, 14, 15 plus times in a paper, that's when academics are going to be like, yeah, we're not seeing like really any other material other than your own here. We don't really have any, meaningful corroboration for what you're showing us. And then it would be a problem in that instance.
It's also a problem if you depend on one particular source too much.
Well, it depends whether the papers have been peer reviewed or not. To be honest with you, there's no harm in doing that. I mean, I'm sure Einstein cited his own paper when he did general relativity, right? So can't be anything that wrong about it. It depends.
Not at all.
It just depends whether it's been peer reviewed. If it hasn't,
then it sounds like from what Leo's saying,
right?
Context matters, is what
Yeah.
Yeah, like
what you're. If other people have checked the paper and said the paper's fine and that's justified in whatever criteria they're going to use, then he's justified in citing it.
Here's the old geezer right
No
here.
doubt he is, because it sounds like all that is one massive fine-tuning argument, and we know what we think of fine-tuning arguments.
A life origin specialist with scores of peer-reviewed science journal publications. He has written like 100 papers. Okay,
Yeah.
He's a director of the Gene Emergence Project of the Origin of Life Science Foundation, Inc. And when PZ Meyers checked that out, he found out it was like a house, like his house somewhere.
Yeah.
So he
Okay.
created like his own institution and set himself as the director so that he can have some fancy sounding, aesthetically convincing title of him being some great researcher. There's also something I wanted to say, just because this guy has peer-reviewed papers. Peer-reviewed does not mean anything. Your paper could be so far from the truth that it's not even funny and still get peer-reviewed. They're looking at the soundness of your methodologies, your presuppositions or axioms that you're working for, and things of that nature. People can publish things and we're like, yeah, this probably isn't correct, but I mean, their methodology, I mean, they have a sound methodology. They're, if we work from their assumptions, we can get these conclusions. Papers like that can be published. Peer-reviewed doesn't mean correct. However, peer review, I think everybody can agree, confers a great amount of merit to research.
Yeah. So Trevor's and Durston and D'Onofrio, they're all ideas. So
is D'Onofrio just the last name?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the first name on that?
Oh, I've got them somewhere. Where the fuck is D'Onofrio? If you look in the Horseman, the papers that I link, you'll find at the top there's just everything's Abel, and D'Onofrio is a co-author on a lot of them.
Mm.
The first thing, So
the other thing is which papers, where were the papers peer reviewed? Because that also makes a huge difference. I believe the idea is set up their own paper so they could ID their own, they could peer review their own stuff.
Yeah, is it it's either Answers in Genesis. I think it might be Creation Ministries International, the Creation Journal. it is a peer-reviewed journal, but it's creationist peer reviewers reviewing creationists that are submitting their work. So it's not it's a peer-reviewed journal, but it's not legitimate. It's not.
Well, no, he's gotten published. It look. Yeah. Of course, I have to check out the
Abel's has been published in like legitimate journals, and that's why I wanted to specify that. Although peer review does confer a great amount of merit to papers and to research, it does not mean that it is true. Now, if you can cite like mounds of peer-reviewed literature all arriving at least roughly the same conclusion, then you have a serious case that this is something factual and something in the real world, and that's what we have for things like evolution.
Yeah.
And also they keep data on the number of times that papers get cited, don't they?
Yes.
Which
So here's the.
Oh, you know what? So I don't know what he gains from doing this, but like. Secular
Money?
Pagan Mom just said that Danny's in the room. So
He's where?
He's here. Atheist Junior left, and then he's in here with Atheist Junior's moniker.
What?
See the cross?
Yeah. Atheist AJ, is that you?
Am I in here twice?
No, you're in here once.
Oh, okay, I thought because I thought the avatar changed because somebody was just trying to say that Danny is there now.
Well, Mom is always behind on the stream. She's always like way behind, and she said that early. She was like 30 minutes behind. She runs it fast, so that could be why.
Yeah, but no worries.
Mars.
We love you, Secular Pagan Mum, when you get to this bit.
So wait, Speed, have you found any like responses to this paper in academia, or any papers saying this is bunk, or is it just been seemingly largely ignored?
I haven't looked. It seems to be largely ignored, but I haven't looked into. I did. I looked at P.Z. Meyers. So if you look at P.Z. Meyers and David Abel, or Pharyngula, let's see.
I was gonna say if there are responses to some like really controversial paper, sure, that's great, that's awesome. But if something comes out like this that's controversial or just like unorthodox, and there's like no response to it or anything from academia, that's probably because it's so fucking bad it's not even worth responding to it.
Hey, real quick, just got to say hello to my brother from another mother, Maynard Saves. Smoke weed every day.
Smoke weed
Well,
every
I think if he's having to point out the difference between probability and possibility to a scientist
and plausibility,
I think the guy's got a screw loose. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. Just like you were saying, Simus, a lot of the like titles and headers he had were That's the riot.
Yeah.
You're reading them and you're like, what is this supposed to mean, dude?
Like, remind me, is this Otangelo's blog?
Okay, this is the address right
These,
here. That no,
these
this
are
is,
papers Maddox has cited.
no,
or a
this
person that Maddox has cited.
Okay, this is P.Z. Meyers talking about what does he name it? More bad science in the literature, and he goes through, and I will link this in the description. I put it in public chat. Anyway, so he went and he looked. Okay, he said, let's see, he is the Department of Protobiocybernetics and Protobiosemiotics, Origin of Life Foundation. And so he went and he looked this address up, right? And it's a fucking house. So he said, I started wondering about this in-house staff who would be doing the initial judging because he's got a contest, and about the Origin of Life Foundation itself. It's awfully hard to track down, but he did track it down. So he looked at Google Maps, house in a residential neighborhood of a Maryland suburb. And he said, let's see, what the hell is it? He says, it made me wonder if maybe the Department of Protobiocybernetics was located in the master bathroom, while the Department of Protobiosemiotics was in the hall closet, and whether both were consolidated into a sunny corner of the kitchen.
Yeah, I'm guessing the incubation lab was the toilet.
Yeah. Anyway, it's pretty cool. But he, I'll put this in. I'll put a link to this. So. It's worth a read. But anyway, when Maddox pulls up papers, oftentimes you'll see David Abel. Watch for that if you're debating them or whatever. And we can pretty much just discount anything Abel says.
Well, you want to know what's really going to get at Maddox? If he cites a paper, just be like, what was the Can you tell me anything about the methodologies in that paper? What sorts of processes did they carry out in their experiment? Do you know? And he'll squirm and squeam and everything about how it's not important or not relevant. And then you just got to do to Maddox what Nathan, Digital Gnosis, did to Sal. Just like keep questioning, be like, all right, so obviously you haven't read the methodology. Then why should I trust that you know anything about this paper? Wait, do you not read the methodology section when you read papers? And if you do, why have you not read the methodology section of this paper? Have you read this paper? Do you know what it has to say?
Kind of like Otangelo.
And he'll get pissed off if you start insulting you. And say,
because he knows he didn't read the methodology. He probably didn't even read the paper. He either read the abstract or he command searched for a certain term. And when it said something that he thought supported his position, he started citing that paper. That's how all of them work. They're not reading this material at all.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, obviously, we all know Otangelo doesn't. The 2 or 3 times that he's been caught red-handed.
Yeah.
God.
One of my favorite moments on Speed's channel was when we caught him, totally not understanding the paper he was supposedly basing his argument on.
Speed made him read the part of the paper that literally said the exact opposite of what he was saying. The paper was saying. I loved it. Oh my God.
And then he rage quit.
Yeah. But the best part is he challenged me to go over the paper on a one-on-one, and we did it again. And the only thing he wanted to talk about is this one little cherry-picked phrase. Yeah. Not even a full fucking sentence.
Yeah. He said, I'm not concerned with the rest of it. And that was the one time, like, somebody said, well, Otangelo, did you happen to read or are you considering anything before or after your quote? Oh, well, it doesn't matter. I'm not concerned with that. Like, he's just literally admitting, I'm just cherry-picking these papers, areas where they say what I want them to, but I don't care about the rest of it that shows that I'm wrong.
Yeah, he's the guy. He's the kind of guy, that would use that half of the quote of what Darwin said about the eyeball.
Yeah, he did that before, and then was it you, John? Somebody in here, I think it's somebody that's in here right now, read out. Maybe it was Speed. Somebody or Walker, Immutable. It was somebody read out the full quote after he did that.
Yeah,
I thought it was John, but I might be wrong on that.
Yeah, I don't remember. It could have been me. Maybe it was Peter.
What, Stephanie? Papers or other people's thoughts? Do we not bring what we think? Can we not show?
Okay, Stephanie is deeper.
Well, no, she's making a point that Otangelo did make at one time, and is correct in making, which is if you're going to use the methodology and the data from the paper, you don't necessarily have to use the conclusions, right? And if you accept that, the methodology and the data, then from that you can draw a conclusion which is counter to the actual conclusion drawn by whichever scientist has done the experiment. And there's nothing wrong with doing that.
I mean,
however,
you,
if you're not an expert in the field, you're on dodgy ground doing that. And of course,
Very dodgy.
Not an expert.
I mean, even if you're not an expert, it's like saying that if you accept all the premises of an argument, you still come to a completely different conclusion. I don't know how that would work. If you're accepting the methodologies that are outlined in a paper, if you're accepting the experiment that was done, and you're accepting the assumptions, the initial assumptions, then I don't know how you could come to a different conclusion than the one reached in the paper without doing your own study and actually showing that it can lead to other conclusions, not just one.
Yeah, I'm just not pointing. I'm just pointing out. Maybe it's difficult to understand, but it's certainly possible, and it's not.
Oh, I agree. It's possible. Yeah.
It's philosophically, it's perfectly reasonable to do that. So.
Ooh, proto-bio-cybernetics.
But you do have to be an expert in the field if you're going to countermand the expert that's done the experiment. And is wrong.
Proto-bio-cybernetics. That sounds interesting. What is that about?
If somebody says, yeah, I accept the methodologies, Dr. John used in his paper, but I think it leads to a different conclusion. There's nothing wrong with that. But at least as a scientist saying that, you're going to have to do your own research showing it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be given any reason for it. But
you can't use a fucking sentence from the paper.
No. No. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
And I can give you guys quotes I have from technical literature. They're always at least a couple of paragraphs. Yeah. It's never like a sentence or maybe even a couple sentences. It's always like a few paragraphs at least.
Yeah, no, to be fair, again, I want to be fair to Othangelo. He does read out more than a sentence normally. Sometimes. And if you let him, he'd probably read the whole fucking book.
Can you post that in the description about cybernetics?
Proto-bio-cybernetics?
Yes.
I'm trying to find it. Okay, I got a paper.
I mean, so you want to be fair to Othangelo, which makes you a much better man than him because, he's certainly not fair. I mean, he strawmans people. He ignores questions.
Two wrongs don't make a right, John.
No, yeah, I understand it. That's why I said he's a better man.
He's been fair to me. He's either rage quit, said I don't know what I'm talking about, or said he doesn't understand what I'm talking about. So that's fairly fair.
I want to disagree with Minette for a second. Two wrongs can make a right. For example, lighting a guy on a fire who's lighting things on fire.
Okay.
No, I don't think that makes a right.
No.
More because I value human life than I do material property.
Right. But he's lighting people on fire.
Yeah, but lighting him on fire doesn't solve anything.
Okay, but I think you got to work
lighting more people on fire.
Yeah, but then somebody died. You just murdered somebody.
You got to work on your examples.
Well, and here's the thing: I got to call Cerberus out on his math there. That would not be an example of two wrongs making a right, because the first wrong doesn't go into the second.
Technically, it's just one wrong. Just one set of fire people.
Cerberus wants to be a contrarian.
Easy there, Danny.
No, he doesn't.
No, I said this to see what people think about it. See, I think it's interesting because Leo said the second one, lighting the arsonist on fire, was wrong.
Yes.
And then of course, I forget who's the other one. Who said the other thing? Then the other person said lighting the guy on fire was a right.
I don't know.
So I can't be correct either way, but they can't agree on why I'm incorrect.
What the hell?
Find it?
No, I'm having a little trouble with the paper. For some reason.
Well, regardless, sir, if you're not right, two wrongs don't make a right.
Anyway, you work on your examples a little bit.
I know, but I'm going to argue that because they're both saying I'm wrong, I am right.
Wait, I have a question for
no,
Lucifer.
because you could be wrong. You could be wrong for
go.
more. You could be wrong for more than one reason, though.
What would Dessel say?
Wait, hold on, Lucifer. Can you tell me in the
negatives
chat
make a positive.
how you define a murderer? What is a murderer to you?
Okay, Speed, I want this paper.
What?
Please.
Yeah. Paper. Okay. Yeah. Note. I put a link in chat that will download the PDF. It's a PDF link, so you can just click that link.
I know.
Okay.
I know that,
Thank
I
you.
know that you're desperately trying to change the subject, Speed, but like we got to go back to Lucifer Almighty claims you can't murder a murderer.
Wait, no, hold on, because he's going right. So he said a murderer is anybody who kills somebody unjustifiably.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
So why can't you murder a murderer?
Yeah.
But whose definition of unjustifiable, though?
Well, no, I'm using Lucifer's because he's the one that made the statement. So I asked him what a murderer is, and he essentially said it's an unjustified killing. So if you kill somebody and it's unjustified that you killed them, even if you didn't have an intention to, if it was unjustified that you did it, that's a murder. So if somebody did that and then 20 years later I kill them, have I murdered that person? Was it wrong for me to do that?
I think he's saying
would say
that
yes.
I think he's saying that in the context of what I was saying.
Yeah, but you said that the person was setting things on fire. You didn't say the other person was setting people on fire.
People are things.
Well, we might be getting a little too technical into the...
Yeah, I regret.
Well,
I
that depends on
making the
social
point.
philosophy. If people are things, it just that depends.
Okay, kids.
Yeah, moving on.
Okay, kids, I want to point something out here. This is one of his older papers. I don't know where it's from. This is David Abel. Now, have you ever heard John Maddox talk about prescriptive information?
I've heard Nephilim Free directly cite from this abstract on more than one occasion.
Have you ever heard John Maddox say things like logic gates and the programming, logic gates, whatever? So basically, I think these are the first papers Maddox ever read.
Probably.
And they're the first ones he showed in his debates. So anyway, you can get a lot of clues from this bullshit. But he's talking about prescriptive information. He's making the case that you have to have selection before you have, I don't know what the fuck it is.
You got to remember.
Proto refers to first. So you have to have this prescriptive information before you can have evolution. Therefore, evolution couldn't happen. So something like that.
I did want to say really quickly that the thing you have to remember about good old Quantum John is he is, as we all know, very well known for utilizing jargon far beyond the level of understanding he has in the field. All you need to do, and I've seen you do this a couple times, Speed. I've done it, and we've all seen his reactions. There's been some other people that have done it. If you just ask him to define what these words mean, either A, he gets mad, or B, he spends like 30 seconds trying to define a term that it should take him 5 or 10 seconds to define.
Yep. Yeah.
I've seen that. I have seen
Okay, now here we go. Maxwell's demon. He's talking about
just really quickly, if I asked him, John, can you tell me what a recursive function is? He would have no fucking clue what I'm talking about.
Yeah, or how to write one.
Again, as my name says, not the John they're referring to.
Yeah.
I think it's probably he would say something like it's somebody that keeps swearing.
Oh, fuck. Oh, that's funny.
I better.
Are we talking about a recursive function in the context of programming?
Yes.
Function.
I know I am.
Yeah.
I am a function of I don't know how many different things. I'm a function of entropy. I'm a function of action. I'm a function of energy. I'm a function of time. I'm a function of distribution in space. I have a wave function.
I mean,
I'm a function of funk.
Are you? Do you?
You are a function.
That's why I gotta change my name. That's it. I gotta be. Hang on a minute. That's a good one, Leo.
What does formal mean? Most academics rightly agree.
Fun. No, that's not the one I wanted.
Formal means I got to wear something with fucking starch in it.
Spell it F-U-N-K-S-H-U-N.
Okay, hang on.
Function. Hey, see you, Scott.
Scott going?
Oh, peace out.
He already left.
Damn, Scott.
I'm here.
I love
Scotty,
Icarus'
I
comment.
can't do it without you.
Recursion, noun. See, recursion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Doing dictionaries do that, or like I'm trying to think of an example. It'll say what is determination, and it'll say the act of being determined. And it's like, okay, what the fuck does determined mean? Like, you call yourself a fucking dictionary? Come on.
Yeah.
Well, no. In regards to recursion, that's probably a tongue-in-cheek joke because
This is probably a really poor definition, but as I understand it, a recursive function is a function that is capable of recalling itself, or not recalling. I think calling itself is a better way to word it.
referencing, it references itself. There's a way to exit it so it doesn't overflow. It doesn't overflow and cause a memory leak.
Yep.
Hey, Midnight. So if you read that paper and try to get something out of it, it would be interesting.
Yeah.
The guy is fun to read, and he takes you on an intellectual ride, and somewhere along the line you realize that you don't want to be on this fucking ride.
Hey,
And
Speed, you know a book?
you
You know a book you should read if
Which
you
one?
haven't already.
Weird tea, really.
What?
The Bible.
No. Psycho-cybernetics.
What the fuck? Oh, I think I own it. Unfortunately, back when I was crazy.
I mean, I'm still crazy, so that's why I'm reading it.
Yeah, I was gonna say back. How far
Yeah.
back?
I was
Wouldn't have been that far
asking the exact
back.
Same question.
Hey, watch it.
Wait, are you ending the stream now?
We're ending the stream. I got a hard deadline at 6 o'clock. I got to be
Hey,
ready.
Atheist Junior said
I'm
he was
off.
leaving, but he's still here.
Bye, Leo.
Yeah, I can smell
Yeah,
you
well,
from here.
I left in spirit.
Oh, okay.
Bye.
I just was making sure that it wasn't somebody using your moniker.
Okay, guys.
Yeah, it was Danny.
Okay, final
Yeah,
words.
Yeah, that's P Mars that does that, not Danny.
Goodbye, cruel world. We're ending.
Oh, you're shooting it in the head?
Oh, you didn't have to let John on. Answers atheism.
Otangelo's a chicken.
Penis.